Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is 57. Welcome. I'm going to talk you through a little bit of asparagus staging here on Kerbal Space Program. It's a very, very simple concept, just an easier way to get more up into space. Cue dramatic music. Love it. Fantastic. Just going to get through this really, really quickly so we can get the game started. Oh, there we go, YouTube here. Very, very good. We'll just do it for the sandbox mode because we've got everything to hand that way and it's a lot easier. There we are. I'm loving the new layout and bits and pieces that they're adding on. I think it is a good move. It's nice to add on career mode. We're just going to make a really simple one here using simple parts that are available fairly early on in the game, just so people can get some sort of hang of it. Where are we? Yes, we need some of these. There we go, a stack decoupler just to add that on there. People think most of this is a waste of time. Many people have different ways of doing what I am about to do. However, good for you. I think that's easier. But anyway, right, so we'll pop these little bits on here. We're going to pop one of these on the bottom here as well. Should be, this is our little bit that's going to get us around and back again. I'm just going to quickly add in actually a inline stabilizer. It's quite a small rocket, this one, but it does help a little bit with moving the larger rocket when it's a bit bigger piece. All will become plain and simple why afterwards. But anyway, right, next bit we need to add on is a bit more rocket. So add that on, and we shall pop on some engines to the underneath. Now the central one, I'm going to use this engine here. It's available right from the start pretty much. Well, after the first bit in the career mode anyway. It has a gimbal on the bottom, so this bit wobbles at the bottom here and can direct the flow. It helps with steering larger ships and bits and bobs. It just makes it a bit easier. Then I'm going to pop some of these radial decouplers on. You can use these ones. I prefer these ones. They just stick out a little bit further. Just going to turn on the symmetry and to double everything on both sides at the same time. The reason for that is it stacks them neatly like this. Like this, so that basically we don't have to fiddle around with it, which is quite good. Right, just going to pop a few of these up the side here. A lot of people think there's another way to do it. If you've got a better way, you stick with it. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. This is the way I do it. It'd be very boring if we all did it the same way. There we are. Splendid. Just going to pop that into its own little piece at the bottom here. The reason why is when you add the next bits on, it's a good little tip here, it just basically puts it into the same box as the last ones that you made because you've copied them. Now I'm just using Alt and clicking here. That will create as many of them as you want to, which is often very good, very useful. It saves you having to go back and then back and then back and then back, which drives you up the wall and drives you insane. Okay, anyway, next bit we're going to do is going to pop on some more rockety bits. So I thought I'd just stick this on the bottom and stick that one on the bottom too, and then we're going to put the other rocket on there because we don't need the gimbal. It's got a little bit more thrust, this one. It's a little bit less economical, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We're only going into space. We're not going to be going to the moon today. Line those up. Best way to line up is always make sure your arrow clicks on the bit you want to line up with. That way it always seems to go a little bit nicer. Now that's nice. For me that looks cool. I like the way that these are a little bit lower than that one there. It just makes it look a bit good. Alt click so we don't have to make another one of those. That's all done nicely. There we are. Try and stay at the same angle, you ducks. There we go. Put it on there. Yeah, a little bit lower, but it doesn't matter too much. Now, the next bit that I've heard they're going to add on is a bit more about airflow, the flow of air and how aerodynamic and everything's going to be. So I am going to add the little cones on there. They do help it a little bit to make it stand up. And last but not least, we want Jebediah to come back alive, so we'll stick a little Mark 16 parachute on the top there to bring him back. Now I haven't added any batteries or anything special or any rocket control systems or thrusters or anything, just because there's no point really, if I'm honest with you. Don't really need it on this one. It's just a little bit small now. I'm going to just pop all of the boosters down into the bottom here, just so everything's nice and neat and tidy. That way we haven't got to worry about it. Now, if I was just to run everything at the same time now, everything would run at the same time. This one would run out first because it doesn't link through to this little fuel tank at the back, and this one's got two. So basically what would happen is we'd just end up running out of fuel because everything would burn at the same time. Now that's good because it goes nice and high, but it would burn everything up at once. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add in a fuel line, so one of these. Now these come in fairly early in the game, and it's not massively at the beginning or anything, but it's fairly simple. Find out which one's the front ones. Okay, these ones are we're going to do first. So what we need to do is pick one side of the rocket. I always pick the lowest one here because it saves you shuffling around afterwards. So these three here, that's these ones. We're going to click on that one there, we're going to click it onto the other side, and now that means that the fuel from these ones will drain into these ones. Now we need to make it so that these ones drain into these ones. There we go. Now I've had that on symmetry mode, so everything will copy on the other side, and if you look from above you should get this fantastic little S shape. There we go, or a 5 or a Z or a Z, depending on where you're from. But anyway, we can pop those on. So what will happen is, first things first, the outside ones here will drain. This one here will use this one's fuel, and we'll drain this one first. We will drop this one's, and these ones will then start to burn the fuel, and the fuel will be burnt from this one inside to this one here. So this one will be the last one to burn through. Anyway, it's all very, very, very complicated and scientific in its magic wizardry, but the best thing we can do is to show you. I can't be bothered to put any supports on because it should just stand up by itself, if I'm really honest with you. So we'll just go and give it a go. If it blows up and falls over, please feel free to absolutely wet yourselves. Anyway, where are we? Where are we? There we are. Has it fallen? No. See? Naysayers. Now I turn on this SAS here. This basically turns this little gizmo on here and turns on everything inside there. The rocket control systems, we don't have any of those, the little thrusters, but we're going to put them on anyway, because once I did it and it didn't work, because I had them, I hadn't turned them on. So anyway, right, let's get ready. We're going to turn up the throttle to max, hit spacebar, and boom, up we go. A little bit of wobble there. Now, first thing you'll notice is, other than the fact it's a perfect takeoff, so good. You can see over here on the left hand side that the liquid fuel here is starting to burn down in these two engines. Now these two engines are these two, which are this one here and this one here. Now they're on the outside of our S shape, and they're going to be the first ones to be jettisoned. See where I'm going? So it's above going up. But anyway, right, so accelerating up nicely, getting some nice speed, everything's going well. Yeah, might actually work this. He's happy, I'm happy. Anyway, drifting off a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. Right, getting ready. Fuel's going to start to run low. Here we go, get ready on these ones. So it's this one here and this one here. Pop! Off, there you go. We're left with the knobbly bits left over. That's going to go back to Earth and probably kill someone back on curb in dry land. Now, we can see up here, because of the asparagus staging, the liquid fuel doesn't exactly burn down at the same rate, so you don't have the sections that you do with a regular rocket. It's nothing to worry about, just go by the gauges down here in the bottom left hand corner, not the ones up here. You can do that when you're down to one piece or whatever, you can work it out. Even if you click on stage only, it's still going to be a little bit confusing, so anyway. Right, just going to check over quickly because these are burning down nicely. There we are, we're getting up to good height now. What I like to do is when we get around about 35, 40, oh, a little bit late there, just lean the spaceship over, there we go, or rocket, sorry, shouted at for that. For me, blue is up, so I always tilt the rocket. Everybody thinks I'm a nut job for that. There we are. Right, splendid. Now we're cruising on nicely. This should get somewhere quite decent, around about 100 or something like that eventually, but we're now cruising across. Some people like to get up to a decent height and then turn the rocket over. Personally, I prefer just to kind of do it all in one motion. It works better for me. Whatever works best for you again, let it work for you. Right, there we go. As you can see, the liquid fuel is burning away out of these two, so I'm getting ready to dump these two. And a little bit of wizardry. You see this one's nearly empty here. It starts to get low. Get ready with the spacebar to go to the next stage. And pop! Look, it's now full. Isn't that clever? Welcome to asparagus staging. It's really, really that easy. Right, now we're starting to make some nice little inroads on getting into orbit. Just going to do a quick orbit, that's all. A lot of people, like I say, just sit and do the math and you can calculate and get it to go the right way. Personally, no. Just fiddle it. There's better ways, I know. There we go, we'll stop it there. That'll do. 360 is quite a long way out. There we are. And we'll make it so it's even on that side. Good little calculator. This just dragging out on this side. That'll work out everything. This is your periapsis. We're sitting at 250. And this is our apoapsis or apsis. Yeah, or however you want to say it. It's a cis. Anyway, this side is your highest point in your orbit. And this is the lowest point. Now, you may have noticed the music has changed. This means that we have just gone above 70,000 meters, which means we are now officially in space, which is pretty damn cool. Now you can see we're in space and we've got a fair bit of fuel left actually. We've got all of the fuel left in this one. Well, alright, we've got 3/4 of the fuel left in this one, but we've also got the fuel left in this one as well. Just let you enjoy the music for a moment. Splendid. Right, well, we'll just check back on our orbital map there. We're going to speed things along a little bit. Now, the burn is 6 seconds on this one, it's telling me, which is very, very quick, but sounds about right. Just speed this one along. Loving the new arrows that they've put in. Just slowing down time a little bit for us again. Don't want to miss anything. Splendid. There we go. That'll give us enough time to turn around. Handy little arrow there. Loving those. The amount of times I've spent just turning around. Nice and quick to turn, thanks to that little stability that we put in there, the little stability ring thingy. Right, 18 seconds. Now we're going to start our burn at 3 seconds and continue on until 3 seconds afterwards. That should give us an even burn on both sides rather than shooting your load all at once, which is a little bit better. There we go, 3s. Now, there we go. Splendid. So if we now wait until blip, 1, 2, 3. There we are. Splendid. Now, let's just have a peek. Would you look at that? It's bang on the ring. Oh, did I just say bang on the ring? That's not very good. Right, so we'll just orbit round freely. There we go. Splendid. Just come around into the light side again so we can actually see what's going on. Do hate it when I'm on the dark side of the moon. Oh, that's another little quote there for you Pink Floyd fans. Oh, something I forgot to do earlier. Good job I noticed. Don't want to separate and shoot the parachute at the same time. That would be a bit boring. What we're going to do is just show you how much fuel we've got still left. We've got all the fuel left. Well, there we go. We've still got 3/4 of the fuel left in that one. We're going to jettison that. And... oh! I forgot to put a jettison... ah! Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I forgot to put a separator on that one. What we can technically do is just fire the rocket into that one. I don't think it's going to do anything. Just have to wait and see. Right. Well, anyway, time to come back. So we could be all clever and set everything up, but I'm just going to fire the rocket anyway. There we go. We see the little swing round. There we are. We're now at the lowest point. Sorry, at the highest point. So the lowest point is on the far side there. Because of the amount of fuel that we've got left on board, I can just leave this open all day long and it will fire us nicely back towards Kerbin, slow us down. Arse end first. Can't believe I forgot to put a separator in. So unprofessional. Oh well, doesn't matter. There we are, and from the change in music, I can tell that we are coming out of an orbit now. Let's see what happens when we run out of the liquid fuel. Actually, that would be quite funny. Nothing! Excellent, splendid. So we're now on to stage 3. Change that over to stage 2. It doesn't fire because obviously there's one in the way. Doesn't really matter. Now, if we look at our orbit, we're basically like a pencil or a pen. We're going to come straight over the top and go down. Oh, we're already going down. There we go. Perfect. So if we just go back to staging, we can dump the rest of that crap. There we go. We're practically vertical. That's going to come down with us anyway. I'm just going to speed us up a little bit to get us back in time. There we go. Now we're traveling along at 15,000 meters per second, which is fairly fast, and we're about to hit the thickness of the atmosphere is coming down here. So when it starts to get a little bit thicker, we're out of space already. We're back into the atmosphere a little bit there. and it's going to start to heat up on the bottom here. I do love this effect. It's one of my favorites. You going to do it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. I do love that. It's very cool. It just makes me all happy. Anyway, see, he's happy. He's coming back. Oh, a little bit. Oh, fantastic. A little bit cooling there. Came down a little bit quick. Now, we're actually only 6,000 meters up, which is not that high. It's only 6 kilometers. So I'm just going to wait down until we slow down a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the parachute, there you go. I launch it now. It really doesn't make much difference at all whatsoever. Now, I did have it on the old version. So I'm going to turn off my magnetic wheel thingies that stabilize everything, because I don't want to have those on. When landing, it makes the ship fall at a funny angle. Oh, there we go. Yeah, in the old version, I had it very once before one of the many updates, and I opened the parachute whilst I had time warped up, and it fell off, and it was very sad. So I'm just going to warp back up. There we go. Get some speed going back up. It looks like we've probably got some bits and pieces falling down near us, but oh, we'll live. There we are. Slowly coming back down to Earth. Kerbin, even. Does look very similar. There we are. There's our shallow little hot air balloon, and bump, there we go. And he's all happy. Look, we can pop outside. Oh no, you can let go now. There we go. Oh, well, that's great. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you got some understanding of asparagus staging, and maybe got a little idea of how to get into orbit a little bit better. Like if you like, dislike if you don't like it. I don't care really if you dislike it. If you do dislike it though, do us a favour, pop something in the comments and tell me why you didn't like it, and I'll happily change it for whatever you want. Everyone wants to listen to nice things, and Kerbal Space was just such a nice program. Anyway, thank you very much, YouTubers. I've been 5-7. Do enjoy yourselves. Bye bye.